And as Israel enters a state of war with Hamas, what are some of the other parties that might be involved? Joining us now to discuss the Chinese Communist regime's connections to the conflict, author of the newly released book, China is Going to War, we have Gordon Chang. Gordon Chang, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.
Of course, Gordon, after the 9/11 attacks and the subsequent war on terror, the United States, rightfully so, exhausting a tremendous amount of resources in the Middle East, much to the benefit of the CCP, allowing the regime to essentially metastasize into an even more dangerous beast. You saw it, but many didn't up until recently. What do we have to watch for now as the conflict plays out in the Middle East with regard to China?
We have to look at China's relationship with Iran, because Iran has often been a proxy for Beijing. And of course, Hamas is a proxy of Iran. So really what we've got here is China fueling these brutal attacks and this invasion of Israel. And we're going to see, I'm sure, Chinese weapons show up on the battlefield. And of course, it's Chinese money that has permitted this. So we have to look at the connections. Xi Jinping is slated to come to the United States in November for the APEC summit. I'm not sure that we should be inviting a war criminal into our country.
The irony of it all is the fact that China actually played a role in providing refuge to the Jews after the Holocaust, pre-1949, of course. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer making a trip to Beijing, which in any news cycle would be a pretty significant event. He urged China to condemn the attacks on Israel, calling, Israel as well, calling for solidarity. Why is the CCP so reluctant to do so?
Because it is fully supporting the Palestinians. It is supporting Hamas. And it is going after Israel. We can see this from Chinese propaganda, which at best is dispassionate. At worst, it tries to obfuscate the origins of this war. So it's very clear where Beijing stands. I mean, calling for restraint in this circumstance is completely inappropriate, which is what Beijing has done. We have to let Israel defend itself from these horrific attacks, which are continuing. Beijing knows that it's on the other side. We just have to understand it is on the other side.